Yes, we definitely give thanks. We glorify the life giver and the keeper of life, Emperor Haile Selassie first. Yeah, it is a blessing. Yes, we do give thanks to the living God. They say the blessings to the EABIC Trinidad branch as well. So we definitely give thanks for your presence with us. Give thanks to the life giver and the keeper of life, Emperor Haile Selassie first. And of course, you know you're in the tiger's nest with us. The Honorable Priest Isaac here with you, giving thanks. If this is the first time you're joining us or even stepping into the nest with us, of course it is definitely a joy, and we're just going to take a few moments right about now to basically touch upon a subject area that we just reasoned upon 2 evenings ago. Because you see, the 20th day of January, at least this year, was the celebration of the Timkat. And Timkat is in Ethiopia. It is considered the baptism of Christ. So this year, 2020, was mystically the Timkat. And why it's mystic is because it is really the 11th day of Ter, which is in Ethiopia, the day for Timkat. But it usually falls on the 19th of January. But this year, through the leap year vibration, it fell on the 20th, not fell, but you know, it stands on the 20th of February. It usually, January, pardon me, January. We're in January. Today is January the 23rd, which is really what I'm going to talk about. But I'm just showing you that on the 20th of January, if I said February before, please forgive me, but on the 20th of January, that is the celebration of the baptism of Christ, Timkat in Ethiopia, Timkat. And I'm showing you that the leap year, this year, 2020, it now is the 20th of January. That is the day that the celebration is on. But usually, when it's not a leap year, it would be on the 19th of January. You get it good. Now, missed it because this year, the 20th, falls on the leap year, the 2020. Interestingly. Now, give thanks. We did a program dealing with that in connection even to the whole time of 1960 and 5. But 1960 and 5 was a mystic time, and it has to do with the whole aspect of even the defender of the faith. Today, being the 23rd day of January, is the day that Haile Selassie I officially received the title Defender of the Faith. And in a moment, I'm going to give you a little more information as it relates to that. But before that, let me just highlight something to you there, what you're looking at there. This is, of course, highlighting our spring equinox upcoming, 2020 as well, 2020. Of course, we're talking about the whole aspect of the alignment of the heavens, equal day and night. So we're looking, hey, that program we did previous night was wonderful. You know, I'm tempted to put that up on the YouTube. We were speaking of frequency, you know, and the whole aspect of time, and all those who listen to the Shock of the Hour, that's previous night's program. I know you would have to have full joy that or enjoy that. The joy must be within. And for sure, the subscribers, I know for sure you will definitely cherish that program. I myself full joy that. Give thanks to the princess for the Kiswahili word of the day as well. So the frequency, I mean, that program would have taken it to a next level, you know. And I'm sure one of these days we might just put that on the YouTube, because I definitely would like to share that with the wider public. But as I said, this year, yes, the uh, the spring equinox right here in Antigua. Of course, you know that's a double hike for sure to Green Castle Hill. That's the morning hike, which definitely will be on the Friday morning, which would be the 20th, of course, of March. And then the 22nd of March, we will have the sunset hike to Green Castle Hill. As you could even see from the poster itself, you could observe the rocks. That's Brother Coyote Erasto there sitting in the semi-lotus position there in the Buddha style, right there on Green Castle Hill. Of course, you could see the thrones and the megaliths itself, keeping in mind that these volcanic megaliths naturally align with the movements of the heavens, with the movements of the zodiac, with the movements of the ecliptic belt, the sun, the moon, and the planets. And it's the whole hill. You could even see from the poster, the hill going way in the background. All of that is littered with volcanic rocks that align with the movements of the stars that naturally protrude out of the earth. This is why it's referred to as the Stonehenge of the Caribbean. So I'm definitely inviting all my brothers and sisters internationally. We just put a video up as well, directly detailing the whole aspect of this year's spring equinox, and I will invite you to check that video for more detail as it relates to the spring equinox upcoming. But again, basically, it's a 5-day and night program as such. We're in now from the 18th to the 22nd, 5 packed days of activities, including the double hike I just mentioned, lectures from our historians, our griots, and our archaeologists. Myself, I'll be having a whole astronomical class showing you the whole link with ancient astronomy, and yourself. It's going to be some deep vibration. We'll be really literally looking at the stars and pointing out the different stars in the heavens. We have our herbalists that will be giving you presentations as well, the island tour, I mean, and much more, the yoga, and so many different things, you know. And of course, all you have to do is contact us. You see even the information right on the fly in front of you itself. And we will send you the itinerary. And, you know, even be sure to check our Facebook page, which is Rastafari Experience Antigua, which is our official company directly dealing with the hiking and the touring. Rastafari Experience Antigua. You could definitely even contact us even via the email as well. And of course, as I said, check us out on Facebook. Now, as I said, this is the 20th day. And at this time, we are looking at the 23rd day, pardon me, and reminiscing even on the 20th day as it relates to, of course, Emperor Haile Selassie I. And as I said now, one may be saying, okay, you speak about the defender of the faith. What is that all about? Now, when we did the program with Brother Haile was speaking of the Council of Chaldean in 451 AD. And he was speaking of the situation with the Ethiopian church and the different vibration and disagreement as it relates to them, and even the Church of Ethiopia concerning the divinity of Christ himself. And the Ethiopian church had this concept of the monophysite nature of Christ, while the European Roman church was running off of the concept of the diophysite concept of Christ. But anyway, in 1965, Haile Selassie I had the conference, convened the conference of the churches of the Orthodox faith, what are referred to as the Eastern Bloc churches of the Orthodox Christianity. and they met and they discussed the whole nature of the divinity of Christ and the stance that was taken by Ethiopia at that time. And they basically reviewed it even from that time to this time, 1965, from 451 AD. And the stance that the emperor took, holding fast to the principle of the ancient ones as it relates to the divinity of Christ. It was considered that all were in awe. And because of such, respect, the elders of the gathering and the bishops and the high clergy ones had no other choice but to name and appoint the Emperor Haile Selassie I as defender of the faith. And I notice when I speak of this, when I make mention of this, ones would say, but defender of which faith? So I would, I guess ones are carrying it to the different layers, the different realms. But at least on this level, let us clarify this level first, because he was considered by the Orthodox fathers to be the defender of that faith. That's what the meeting was about. I know one may say, well, he's a defender of and faith or all people's faith or the Rastafari traditional faith and all, and all of that may have truth within it. But let's stick to the direct topic at hand. And the direct topic at hand is that we're dealing with the Orthodox Church. And the fathers considered that because of the wise mind of the emperor, the Holy One, because of the intelligence and his strong stance and even just his words and of course his lifelong livication, what you may call dedication, even before he even had to say a word, man. It is obvious before he even called a conference together. It is obvious even from the days of Mussolini when they're trying to break down Ethiopia and run with the Ark of the Covenant and mash up Lalabella and all that there is therein. It is obvious from even that time we're dealing with the defender of the faith. So it was 1965, mystically now, on the 21st day of January. No, it's the 23rd, they said. No, I know what I'm saying. It was on the 21st day of January that they gave the title of Defender of the Faith to the emperor. But it is on the 23rd day of January that Emperor Haile Selassie I accepted the title of the Defender of the Faith. And interestingly, if one really overstands the movements of the zodiac, because one could say zodiac all they want, but that's just cheap talk. If you really comprehend the movements of the zodiac, you will know that the 21st day of January is the beginning of the cycle of Aquarius. And Aquarius is the water bearer. Aquarius is the water carrier. Don't make sense you're talking about zodiac and you cannot even begin to read the zodiac, because the eye of Aquarius is on the celestial equator. And you could see the Aquarius constellation, the water bearer, literally running across the heavens with the pitcher in his hands, and the stars signify the water that is being spilt or thrown away. That's one mystic about the Aquarius constellation. as it's running across the heaven, and its eyes is perfectly on the equator, the celestial equator. Because you must keep in mind that, as St. Paul says in Galatians, that the story of Abraham and Sarah, etc., is an allegory. So basically, you must understand the whole allegorical pitch. And this is why Christ is seen with the whole concept of the fish in many aspects, because we're dealing with the allegory of the time. He's said to be the man of the Pisces age. So this is why the fish symbol, which is an ancient symbol, that is why the Dogons deal with the Nomo, the fish, and the Nun, the same Nun, Nomo is the Nun, the fish, the Nun, the Nut, the now net, the net, and the fish in the net. It's a very, you know, the Nautic and everything. It's the water and the fish together, Jonah out of the fish, and Vishnu, Vishnu coming out of the fish. So the Christ figure is seen with the fish, and his disciple, the fisher folks, and in the ship. Deep symbolism, deep allegory. So this is the Pisces age. As we said in the program previous night on the Shock of the Hour radio program, we also mentioned the number 2160, the 2160 years, as we were dealing with the pixel and the HD, you know, video, as it relates to the video, the 2160 and its addition and the equation of 9 for those who were listening to the Shock of the Hour previous night. You know, frequency, I tell it was a heavy program, man. But the 2,160 years within the great month of the procession of the equinox, every 2,000 years, or to be more precise, every 2,160 years, you have a new age. So the Christ of 2,000 years ago, in this new age now, we're looking to go into the Aquarius age. The Aquarius age. The Holy One, man, we talking about. The defender of the faith was given the title, the defender of the faith. When Aquarius comes to its light in the zodiac belt, in the movements of the Anam, the 21st day of January is the beginning of Aquarius. Yeah, the defender of the faith. And interestingly, at that very same time, we're dealing with Timkat, which is the baptism now, the water throwing away out of the picture of the Aquarius. The baptism is water, epiphany, the baptism of Christ in Ethiopia. The very same time, 1965 as well, you know, when the conference was going on, at that time, they were celebrating the water washing the Christ and anointing him to the world. This is the Son of God in whom I'm well pleased. He was given the title, the defender of the faith. During the time of the baptism of Christ, during the time in the zodiac where begins the Aquarius sign, in the natural movements of what they call the horoscope. So we give thanks even on this day, the 23rd of January, as we glorify even such the defender of the faith. And the ancient faith we're talking about, as you said before, is Rastafari. So we give thanks to Rastafari himself, the Emperor of Ethiopia. We give thanks for such joy and, you know, such faith that has been defended. Holy Haile Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. And I say again, you know, my brothers and sisters, we definitely invite you to, you know, even be with us on the 21st to the 23rd. Well, really from the 18th going on, the 18th of March, for even the spring equinox right here. We're talking about even in Anu. And let me just highlight again, even as we mentioned that Remember, you could definitely get your copy of Annual, since we're here at the Biblical Land of Israel. You could definitely get your copy of the book, The True Biblical Land of Israel. Do you have a copy of the book, The True Biblical Land of Israel? Well, definitely you could just contact us, Priest Isaac 27 at gmail.com, and get a copy. The True Biblical Land of Israel, as you would know, originally was a theological paper, and the book basically goes into, let me just give you a little sneak preview there. The book basically goes into the concept, the true concept, or the theology really of the book, or the theory of the book, is that the land of Israel, according to the biblical description, let me give you it good again. The land of Israel, according to the biblical description, is the land of Africa plus Arabia. I'm sure even again in that interview that I did with our good brother Haile, I was sort of bringing that up, as it relates to the birthplace of Christ. I wouldn't say that he wasn't disagreeing with me as such. I mean, it was like he was saying, man, you have it on point, but still, although he said that to me, it still ain't fitting into, our concepts, but I mean, I was just doing an interview. I mean, I ain't bringing nobody, to debate them or anything. But anyway, the point is that the true biblical land of Israel, you should definitely get a copy for yourself. You could get a copy for a friend. Definitely go through the pages and get a good understanding of what I said. People argue all day long and say, well, oh, the Bible is not a real book, and this and that wrote the Bible. This is not about who wrote the Bible. I mean, as I say all the time, it could be Mother Goose. That's not my point. My point is that according to the Bible, the land of Israel, geographically speaking, is Africa plus Arabia. That's the end of the story. And of course, the book I Know Ancient and Modern, especially those who are looking to join us this March, it would be good that you go through the book I Know Ancient and Modern. This is just a piece of the area that we refer to as the Eternal City, right there on Green Castle Hill. You see all these rocks here, Rastafari? These are volcanic rocks, these clusters. It's just a little piece, Everything here has its own cosmic connection and alignment and movements. The frequency is heavy. So definitely remember, you can contact us again, precise27@gmail.com. I'm very thankful for your presence with us this evening. A glorious celebration. Most Rastaman and Rastafari don't really as such celebrate this day. Maybe it's just us to edify ourselves more and more so we can continue to uplift these holy days, which is definitely important for our spiritual growth. As I always say, if you know your Bible and you do not know your history, the knowledge of your Bible will become a mystery. And it takes some real eyes to realize the real lies that are amongst us. King Emmanuel, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari, blessed love. Yeah, we give thanks. Mhm.